Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the Kentucky tornado death toll is now at 76, and unfortunately the last person missing in Bowling Green, a teenager, was found dead today. Meanwhile, federal dollars and help will be pouring into Kentucky. Today, Governor Andy Beshear said the help from Washington will be quicker and more sustaining than first thought. Now, this latest briefing came one day after the governor toured Mayfield and Dawson Springs with President Biden. He says the president has pledged 100% coverage of recovery and cleanup for the first 30 days.
Federal government has done absolutely everything that we have asked them to do, and we've asked for some things that were hard for them to say yes on.
The governor also said he is extending the time for the displaced and first responders to stay at state parks from 2 to 4 weeks, and that the Team Western Kentucky Fund in less than 1 week has raised almost $16 million from 930,000 donations. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today in Clay County celebrating a major broadband expansion project. Clay County officials and members of Windstream came together in Manchester for the announcement. Moving forward, more than 8,500 people will be offered better internet. Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers says this is a huge win for the area.
People are relocating, and they want to know if they have access to high-speed, quality broadband. And that helps everybody because we've had an individual move here from San Diego, one from Chicago, people moving out of Louisville, Lexington, Northern Kentucky, some very large cities.
Senator Stivers says the project is slated to be finished by the end of January. A new children's book just hit the market, and it is about a little piggy. The Pikeville Police Department just announced its newest fundraiser, written by one of its own to honor one of its own. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the mission.
The Pikeville Police Department sees a lot of visitors, but maybe none as popular as its new mascot, Hammy. And his first visit to the police department is now chronicled in a children's book, the proceeds of which will go back to children in the community. Hammy visits the police station. A new children's book written by Pikeville Police Records Administrator Elizabeth Thompson and illustrated by local artist Christopher Epling follows a cartoon version of the department's mascot through a tour of the police station, looking into some of the services the officers provide. The book, like the plush pig that inspired it, is dedicated to fallen Pikeville PD officer Scotty Hamilton, who department officials say was the epitome of a public servant. And they hope this book will explain the mission he was always working toward.
There's a lot more to being an officer than just, fighting crime and, writing tickets. It's giving back to the community in every way that you can.
Author Elizabeth Thompson says the project was a labor of love from the beginning to the end, and she is so proud of the community for coming together to help make it happen. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The books are on sale now, with proceeds going to Pikeville PD's Christmas with a First Responder and Community Outreach program. We'll have more about that coming up at 6.
It has been a downright toasty day by December standards. A lot of us knocking on 70's door for those temperatures out there right now. And that actually means some rainfall's on the way. In fact, Buffalo Mountain camera here in Perry County, if you look off to the right, you see the sun there behind that utility pole. Just to the right with the high clouds in place, it looks like a sundog trying to form in parts of Perry County. So a nice little optical phenomenon in the sky there this afternoon. And it is a warm one. Prestonsburg 69, 68, Pikeville, Jackson, and Hazard. London at 67, though they were at 69 earlier, which would tie the record high set back just 6 years ago in 2015. And the record in Jackson, by the way, 70, set on the same day in the same year. And you can thank southwest winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour out there, really bringing up those very warm temperatures as we've gone through the daytime hours today. But here's the difference. We've got showers moving in. Moorhead right now down to Frenchburg. Clay City down toward portions of Irvin, over toward McKee, just east of Mount Vernon, north of London, and as we head over toward Pulaski and Wayne counties as well, running into a few showers on the leading edge of that front. And they are just showers at this point, but you really see the rainfall beginning to work on into the western part of the state, and we'll continue to see that work in as we go throughout the nighttime hours tonight. So keep that WYNT weather app handy, because we will have the latest when it comes to all of the rainfall and as well all of our chances for rainfall over the next few days. So keep that WYNT weather app handy. We're going to be through the 60s and even the upper 50s tonight as soggy weather moves back in, and we're not done with it yet. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The National Security Council issued a warning to businesses and individuals this morning, saying we are all at increased risk of cyber attacks during the holiday season. The warning comes as cybersecurity experts say a popular software system contains a flaw that some are calling the worst vulnerability in history. The Log4j software is used in a variety of devices, including smartwatches, televisions, printers, thermostats, and cloud services. And they warn hackers will target anyone they can find.
For a cyber criminal, he doesn't care who he hacks. He just cares, can he get in? Can he get the payment?
The government issued some guidelines for companies to follow, including making sure programs are up to date with the latest fixes, make sure data is backed up and offline away from cyber criminals, and they recommend companies make sure their employees are aware of best practices, including changing their passwords. Earlier today, Vice President Kamala Harris announced a new push to eliminate lead from homes and other buildings. It involves a number of federal agencies. The Department of Labor will help fast-track removal projects with union workers where lead pipes already exist. Other agencies will commit to removing lead from federally assisted housing. And a new cabinet group will focus on getting lead out of schools and child care facilities. It all comes with billions in new funding allocated through the new bipartisan infrastructure law. The nation has averted another potential economic disaster, at least for now. President Biden signed a bill today that raises the debt limit ceiling by $2.5 trillion. That is also extended into 2023, avoiding a conflict with midterm elections next year. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen had warned without the measure, the country could face its first ever default. Party leaders on both sides of the aisle made it clear that had to be prevented. New research shows the Great Resignation is likely here to stay for a little while longer. A survey of close to 1,000 workers by website Best Colleges found more than a third of the respondents said they plan to change or at least consider changing jobs in 2022. Even if you already did that, chances are good you could do it again. 69% of those who made a change this year say they plan to make another move next year. More than a quarter of the respondents say they are learning new skills to get a better job. One city in Washington state is testing out universal basic income. Starting today, monthly $500 payments will be given to 110 families in Tacoma during the next year. The program is focusing on households that are technically above the poverty line, but may make too much for other assistance programs. Abigail Lawson, who serves as the program's director, says giving the money with no restrictions on how it's spent is an important point. She believes it would illustrate how effective guaranteed income can be in addressing people's needs.
The reason that we're doing this is so that we can have a more well-rounded understanding of what the guaranteed income is doing in our community, potentially highlighting the greatest needs in our community.
So how much will this cost Tacoma? Mayor Victoria Woodard says the price tag will be $100,000, which will cover administrative costs. The rest comes from Woodard's connections to national organizations, along with fundraising from local businesses and community organizations. If you're waiting for the housing market to cool off before buying a home, you may be waiting a while longer. Housing starts and building permits in November increased more than expected from October levels. A government report out this morning shows that people are still eager to buy new houses. Prices are going up as well. Real estate brokerage Redfin says the median home sale price as of December 12th was up 14% from last year. Redfin also reports the average home is selling above its list price for the 39th week in a row. Let's head over to Wall Street now. On this Thursday, the Dow closes down today, more than 29 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. But straight ahead here on First at 4, the holidays can be a tough time for military families. But one company is on a mission to brighten those lives in a big way.
And you felt that wind out there today, and more showers are on the way as we head into the end of the work week. I'll have the full details